Okay, today we're going to talk about Lambda Event Source Mapping. So this is a relatively quick topic to talk about, something you should know of. You don't need to worry too much about the details for the purposes of the exam. But if you've got a Lambda function, obviously a Lambda function is event driven. It gets run in response to an event. That might be an invoke API call. It might be a message put on an SNS topic. But for many AWS services, we actually have to poll for new updates. And event source mapping is what handles that. So the first example would be Kinesis Data Streams. So Kinesis Data Streams, you have a position in the stream. You need to poll for new messages from the last position you read up to. With Lambda Event Source Mapping, it essentially handles all of that for us. And we just get a Lambda function invoked for each relevant part of the data stream. Other services we might look at are DynamoDB Streams, which have a stream of changes to DynamoDB. SQS is a classic one, new messages on the queue, we need to poll for those. For each of those, we will get a Lambda function invoked, or for each batch of those, actually, I should say, we will get a Lambda function invoked. We can set that batch size. And MSK, managed service for Kafka, in the same way as Kinesis Data Streams, we can poll the data from there and it will handle recording the position that we read up to. You can actually set whether just to receive a single message or a whole batch of messages. You can set the batch size for most ingestion types, so Kinesis Data Streams, MSK. SQS, you can choose the number of messages that you want to receive. So you can say, oh, right, don't bother sending me anything until there are 5 messages waiting on the queue, or we get to a certain timeout. So you can say, well, you know, if we haven't got 5 messages within 60 seconds, just send me what you've got. I'll process those and we can go on. That can be much more efficient and that can keep your costs down in larger deployment scenarios. We also obviously need to handle errors. So if we've got errors that occur, we can handle them with a retry. So we can reread from Kinesis Data Streams. For other message types, for example, SQS, we can retry reading the message once the visibility timeout has expired, because when we try and read that message, the message essentially becomes invisible. But until we say it's been deleted, it's still on the queue. After the visibility timeout, it reappears and the Lambda will automatically get invoked again. So we kind of don't have to do anything for retry. But we also have the standard dead letter queue mechanism as well. So if we have messages that we've tried to read a number of times, they will automatically get put on an SQS queue called the dead letter queue, which we can then read and do some extra processing with. Maybe we just want to log, look, these messages occurred and we weren't able to process them, and here are the errors that we received. Here are some notes for you. Until next time, enjoy the cloud.